The sky looked normal, clear, peaceful. But deep in space, just past the moon, something was coming. It started with a quiet beep on an old radar screen. A sleepy technician on night shift looked up. His eyes widened. Dozens, no, hundreds, of unknown signals were blinking. He hit the red alert button. All around Earth, military stations buzzed to life. Satellites picked up strange shapes moving fast in perfect formation. Big black ships. No response to any message. No flag. No signal. Just silence. High above Earth, the human patrol ship Valor drifted quietly. Its captain stood on the bridge, staring at the screen. "Those aren't ours," he said. His crew said nothing. They just stared at the growing number of enemy ships. The alien fleet was massive. At least 50 large warships. No markings, no heat signatures, no life signs they could detect. The ships looked smooth, almost like they were carved from one piece of black stone. One by one, they positioned themselves around Earth in a wide circle. "Why aren't they attacking?" someone whispered. The captain looked uneasy. "Because they don't need to rush." Suddenly, a message appeared on all frequencies. One word. Cold. Mechanical. "Submit." That was it. No face. No voice. Just the word. Back on Earth, every nation's leaders scrambled to react. They argued, shouted, panicked. Some wanted to surrender. Some wanted to fight. But no one knew what they were really facing. The ships didn't fire. Instead, they did something worse. Beams of blue light shot out from each alien ship. They didn't strike the surface. Instead, they connected together in orbit, forming a glowing cage around Earth. A net of energy. Satellites began to fall. Communication lines failed. Power grids shook. Earth wasn't being destroyed, it was being captured. On the Valor, the captain clenched his fists. "They're trapping us, studying us." One young crew member spoke, his voice shaky. "Why not just kill us?" The captain looked at the glowing energy wall outside the window. "Maybe they want to see if we'll break first." Suddenly, the alien ships moved again. One ship separated from the fleet and approached the moon. It released a smaller probe. The probe dropped toward Earth's surface. Everyone held their breath. What was it? Down below, telescopes caught the image. The probe wasn't a bomb, it was a scanner. It floated silently over cities, forests, oceans. It was watching. "We're in a cage. And now they're inspecting the animals," the captain said coldly. Back at the underground Global Command Center, panic was rising. No weapons had worked. Missiles exploded before reaching the alien field. Lasers were blocked. Nothing touched them. One old scientist stepped forward. "We need time. We need to understand this enemy." And that's when a bold idea was born. The Valor was still near the moon, just outside part of the cage's edge. Maybe, just maybe, it could slip out using gravity to slingshot around the moon and escape. It was risky. If the alien sensors detected them, they would be vaporized. But it was Earth's only chance to learn more. The captain agreed. He gave the order. "Power down all systems. No heat, no signal. We coast around the moon. One shot." The engines were shut off. The ship drifted. Silence filled the bridge. Every crew member watched the moon grow larger in the window. Slowly, slowly, the ship moved behind the dark side of the moon. Then, just as they came around the far side, engines fired. The ship shot forward, past the energy net, and into deep space. They made it. Alarms went off. One alien ship broke formation and followed. The chase had begun. The Valor was alone. But Earth now had a spark of hope. And maybe, just maybe, that would be enough. Valor was flying fast, too fast to stop. The engines screamed as the ship tore through dark space. The crew could feel the hull shake. Lights flickered. The captain held onto the rail as a red alert flashed across the screen. "They're chasing us," someone said, voice tight with fear. Behind them, one alien frigate had broken away from the fleet. It moved like a shark in deep water. Smooth, silent, deadly. Its long black body didn't show any engines, it just glided. "They're not trying to destroy us," the captain said. "They're hunting us." The ship's AI picked up a strange signal, like a whisper made of static. Not words, not sound, just something watching. Then the alien frigate fired. A bolt of blue energy flew past Valor, missing by only a few meters. The heat rocked the ship. Systems blinked. Shields holding. "For now," said the weapons officer. The captain looked calm, but inside he knew they couldn't win in a straight fight. Not out here. Not with one ship. Not with old human tech. "We don't fight head-on," he said. "We punch where it hurts." He brought up a map of the alien fleet's position around Earth. His eyes locked on the smallest ship, the one farthest from the others. A scout ship. "If we can sneak up on that one, we might get something. Data. Clues. Weaknesses." It was a crazy idea, but the only one they had. Back on Earth, the energy cage still glowed in the sky. People across the world stood in fear. Satellites had gone dark. Internet, phones, power failing piece by piece. In underground bunkers, world leaders shouted at each other. One general slammed his fist on the table. "We have nothing that can stop them." A young woman in a lab coat spoke quietly. "Maybe not yet. But the Valor is out there." Another man scoffed. "One ship? What can they do?" "They can find the truth," she said, "and we build our defense with that truth." The room went silent, back in space. Valor powered down again, hiding its heat, pretending to be space junk. They coasted slowly toward the scout ship. The alien vessel was silent. No lights, no windows. It looked like a black knife drifting in the void. "We're close enough to fire," the weapons officer said. "Just one shot," the captain replied. "Make it count." They charged the railgun, an old weapon by today's standards. But it had one advantage: no energy signal, just metal, speed, and impact. The railgun fired. The slug flew silently through the dark and smashed into the side of the alien ship. For a moment, nothing. Then, cracks. Sparks. The alien hull shimmered and split open. Black liquid sprayed out like blood. Alarms flared on the alien ship. It turned, slowly, confused and wounded. But Valor was already moving. They raced toward the wreck, grabbed a floating piece of alien tech with the cargo arm, and blasted away. "Did we just win?" one crew member whispered. The captain didn't smile. "No, we just bought Earth a few minutes." Inside the wreckage they had pulled aboard, the crew found something strange. A glowing cube. It pulsed like a heartbeat. "What is it?" the engineer asked. "I think it's a brain," the captain said. "Or a memory." They connected the cube to the ship's scanner. It was full of alien language. Lines, shapes, symbols that moved. On their own. The AI worked fast, comparing the alien code with known patterns. A single file translated. The screen lit up with a shocking phrase. "Earth is classified harvest grade. Begin preparation phase. Begin breaking the will." "What does that mean?" someone asked. "They don't want our resources," the captain said. "They want us, not dead. Just broken." The room went cold. The captain stood tall. "Then, we don't break," he said. "We hit back and we tell the whole world how." He turned to the comms officer. "Prepare to transmit. Full power. Send everything. Ship images, the memory file, their weak points. Earth needs to see this now." But just as they sent the signal, the radar lit up. The enemy was back. The same frigate. But now, it had friends. 3 ships. Big ones. Moving. Fast. "They know what we stole," the captain said. The lights dimmed, alarms rang again. "They're coming to erase us." The alien ships were closing in. The Valor shook as it pushed its engines to the max. Behind it, 3 massive alien warships glided through space like silent ghosts. No sound. No warning. Just growing death. The captain stood on the bridge, staring at the radar. "They'll catch us in less than 4 minutes," said the pilot. "No weapon strong enough to stop them," the weapons officer added. "Not even close." The captain didn't blink. Then we don't fight them. He turned to the engineer. Can we overload the main core? The crew froze. That'll fry the ship, the engineer said. Maybe kill us all. Will it make a big enough signal? The captain asked. Big enough for Earth to see? The engineer looked at him and nodded slowly. It'll be the brightest thing in the sky. The captain smiled for the first time in hours. Good. Prep the overload. We turn our ship into a flare. Back on Earth. Inside the global command. Bunker screens were dark. Communication was nearly dead. Radar was blind. But then someone gasped. In the black sky over the edge of the moon, a light appeared. Not a star. Not a meteor. A signal. It pulsed once. Then again. Then 5 times. One general stood up. Morse code. That's Morse code. The light kept flashing. It was coming from the Valor. The translation came in. They study minds. They break will. We hit one. It bled. They fear data loss. Build blind weapons. No heat. No signal. No mercy. Silence filled the room. Then the code flashed one final time. Now it's war. Back in space. The Valor dove behind an asteroid belt, but it was no escape. The alien ships followed. Cold, perfect, impossible to outrun. We have one shot, the captain said. One. They had hidden a special railgun round. Heavy metal built for piercing dense targets. But it had a twist. It could carry a small black hole core for just a few seconds before it collapsed. Just enough time to fire. They called it the Fang. Only works once, the weapons officer said. Once is all we need, the captain replied. The plan was mad. Let the alien ships come close. Too close. Then fire the Fang directly between them. The collapsing core would pull them together like magnets into a small, crushing death. Timing has to be perfect, said the pilot. No mistakes, said the captain. The countdown began. The alien ships accelerated. 1 minute. 30 seconds. 10. 5. 4. 3. Now! The railgun fired. The Fang flew. A second passed. Then space. Bent. The black hole core activated. It screamed with silent force. The closest alien ship was pulled sideways. The second tried to break off, but its hull cracked. The third vanished into the pull. For 3 full seconds, space twisted like torn cloth. Then, silence. Nothing remained but floating pieces of smooth black metal. The crew stared in shock. We got them, someone whispered. But the celebration didn't last. The ship's engine lights flickered. The overload process had started and could not be stopped. Core's burning, the engineer shouted. We've got less than 2 minutes before we go boom. The captain nodded. He looked at the cargo bay where the alien memory cube was still glowing. We eject the cube, he said. Let Earth catch it. The engineer set the small pod. No signal, no power, just momentum. Launching now, he said. It'll reach Earth in 7 hours. The captain turned to the crew. You have escape pods, take them. No way, said the weapons officer. We're staying. The pilot smiled. Let's go out with a bang. 1 minute later, the Valor, scarred, smoking, and proud, turned toward the stars and opened its comms one last time to the entire alien fleet. The captain spoke. We're humans. You picked the wrong species. Then he laughed and hit the final button. The Valor exploded in a blinding light. A white pulse spread across space. Even the alien fleet paused. On Earth. 7 hours later, the pod landed in a remote desert. Inside was the alien memory cube. Human scientists picked it up with shaking hands. Within it was the key. The enemy's biology, tech, language, fear. Earth had just received its first real weapon, and the war had only begun. The memory cube pulsed like a heartbeat. Deep inside a hidden Earth lab, top scientists stared at it. No wires, no buttons, no screen. Just smooth black metal and a cold, steady thump. They had never seen alien tech like this. It didn't open, didn't blink, but it watched. Every scientist in the room could feel it. One man stepped forward. "We don't plug into it," he said. "We let it plug into us." The others looked at him like he was mad, but he walked closer and placed both hands on the cube. The room went dark. The cube lit up. The vision hit instantly. He wasn't in the lab anymore. He saw stars burning, fleets drifting, and alien eyes watching. Earth. He heard no voice, but he understood. The aliens didn't just want resources, they were harvesters of fear. They fed on surrender. They broke civilizations by crushing hope, not with fire, but with control. First, they cut the power. Then they jammed thoughts, sowing panic. Finally, they bent minds with a strange wave, a signal that made people obey. The cube showed how Earth would fall in 3 steps. Shutdown. Silence. Submission. And it was already happening. The scientist dropped to his knees, shaking. "It's not just war," he said. "It's invasion of thought." A general stepped forward. "Can we stop it?" The scientist stood up. "Yes," he said, "but not with firepower." He tapped the cube. They never expect humans to fight like this. Hours later, underground labs sparked to life. Hidden bunkers, desert caves, Arctic vaults, no satellites, no signals, just old wires, chalkboards, and hands. The plan was bold. Build weapons that don't think, don't feel, don't glow. Just raw metal, gravity, steam, Earth tech. They called it Project Ghost Strike. Meanwhile, above Earth, the alien fleet moved slowly, not in fear, in confidence. Their scanners showed nothing. No fleets, no fire, just cold, waiting silence. Exactly what they wanted. Earth was breaking. They began Phase 2. A low-frequency wave blanketed the sky. Humans across cities stopped. They blinked, lost focus. Some dropped their tools. Others just stared upward. It was beginning. The bending of will. But something unexpected happened. In a scrapyard in India, an old radio sparked. A child's voice spoke. "Hello? I can think." Again. Somewhere in a bunker in Brazil. A pilot opened his eyes and screamed. "They tried to grab my mind." The wave wasn't working everywhere. Why? Because the cube had warned Earth, and humans had unplugged themselves. Back in the lab, they tested the first weapon. It looked like junk, just steel wrapped in copper and launched by pressure. But when fired at a sample of alien armor, it cut through like butter. No AI, no heat, no signal. The engineer grinned. "It's invisible to them." They smiled. Then they built hundreds more, rockets that ran on fire, guns with no electronics, ships made from submarines. It was ugly, but it was human, and it worked. The first strike came at night. A single alien scout hovered over an empty canyon, watching. Suddenly, from deep underground, a human-built cannon fired a single slug of dense metal. No glow, no beep, just death. The alien ship shattered. A hole the size of a bus punched through its center. No warning, no alarm, just silence. The rest of the alien fleet spun around. They had finally seen it. Earth had learned. Earth had struck. Earth was not broken. Far above, in the command ship of the alien fleet, something shifted. For the first time since arrival, their sensors flashed red. Unregistered attack, unknown source, zero signal trail. The alien commander stared at the screen, then at Earth, then back to the dark hole in the scout ship. He made a strange clicking sound. Humans adapt. And for the first time, in 100 conquered worlds, they felt fear. The moon hung quietly over Earth, but deep beneath the surface, war was waking up. In secret tunnels, Earth's first stealth fleet was ready. Not shiny, not fast, but deadly. Every ship had thick armor, no signals, no lights, no computers, no AI, just humans. Steel, grit. They were the Ghost Strike fleet, and they were about to strike back. Inside the lead ship, the captain whispered into the mic. Ghost Strike 1, ready. From 8 different countries, 8 deadly ships replied. 2, ready. 3, locked. 4, waiting in the dark. 5, moving now. One by one, they slipped into space, silent as shadows. The alien sensors picked up nothing. To them, Earth was still broken, but that was the trap. High above, the alien fleet was preparing Phase 3, surrender. Their mind wave towers had been built in orbit. Soon they'd release full control waves across Earth. Any will to resist would melt. The fleet commander waited. Victory was moments away. He didn't know Earth had already launched revenge. The Ghost Strike fleet reached orbit. No engines. Just slingshot momentum from Earth's gravity. They drifted into the enemy's blind zone. The target, one of the mine towers. If they took out just one, the signal would weaken. If they took out all 3, the invasion would collapse. The crew inside Ghost Strike 1 held their breath. Ready the spike, said the captain. The spike was a new weapon, a metal rod fired so fast it didn't need explosives. It turned anything it hit into dust. The captain gave the signal. Fire. Boom. The rod launched silently. Half a second later, impact. One alien mine tower exploded in pure silence. Then it tore into flames. The enemy fleet turned, confused. No signal, no trail. Just wreckage. Seconds later, Ghost Strike 2 and 3 hit the second tower. Gone. Then Ghost Strike 4 and 5 opened fire, aiming at the control hub. Alarms lit up across the alien fleet. Too late. Boom, boom, boom. The third tower vanished. On Earth, people across the world blinked and looked around. The fog in their minds lifted. The strange voices stopped. The fear in their heads was gone. They remembered who they were, and anger replaced fear. Back in space, the alien commander growled. He finally understood. The humans had tricked them. Not weak, not broken, just hiding. And now, fighting back. He slammed a clawed hand on the control panel. All warships, open fire. But their weapons scanned for heat, power, signals. Ghost Strike ships had none. The enemy blasted empty space. Meanwhile, Ghost Strike 7 circled behind them and fired 3 more rods, straight into the alien fuel tanks. Boom. A huge explosion rocked the sky. 3 alien cruisers fell. Inside Ghost Strike 8, the pilot laughed. They're punching at shadows. Back on Earth, people watched the sky glow. For the first time in days, they cheered. The tide was turning. The alien fleet was now chasing ghosts and dying one ship at a time. Then something happened. No one expected. The cube on Earth lit up again. Itty. Pulsed brighter than ever. Scientists gathered around it, and then a map appeared. Not of Earth, of the alien homeworld. Coordinates, signals, weak points. Someone whispered, "It's helping us." The cube wasn't just memory. It was a weapon, a gift from a traitor, maybe even a message. Finish them. On the Ghost Strike command ship, the captain received the new coordinates. He looked out at the dark sky. We're done playing defense. He opened the comm line to every Ghost Strike ship. Next target, their world. The stars had never looked so sharp. Ghost Strike 1 passed the moon's dark side, silent, cold, and deadly. Behind it, 6 more ships followed. These weren't just Earth's defenders now, they were hunters and their prey, the species that tried to break humanity's mind. Inside Ghost Strike 1, the captain studied the map glowing on the screen. It came from the alien memory cube. Coordinates, layouts, weak points. The alien homeworld was hidden in a dead part of Vuen, space wrapped in dark clouds, a system full of sensor traps, fake planets, and decoy moons. But now Earth knew the truth, and Earth was coming. The crew didn't cheer. They didn't joke. They just prepared. No one expected to survive this mission, but they would leave a scar. 3 days later, the Ghost Strike fleet reached the edge of the alien system. No lights, no messages, just silence. The homeworld was below, spinning slowly. Surrounded by defense rings, each ring held weapons larger than skyscrapers, laser batteries, tractor beams, antimatter cannons. If Ghost Strike showed itself for even 1 second, it would be vaporized, but the fleet had a secret. They weren't here to fly through. They were here to fall through. Each ship was loaded with massive steel rods, pure metal. No tech. Once released, they would fall at insane speeds. No engine, no light, no signal, just gravity. They called it Sky Spear. The Ghost Strike ships aimed their launch bays toward the largest alien city, underground command centers, signal cores, thought control towers, the heart of the enemy. One rod could crack it open. The captain took a deep breath, dropped the spears. Thunk, thunk, thunk. One by one, massive rods dropped from the ships. Invisible, silent, deadly. Nothing could detect them. Nothing could stop them. On the alien homeworld, sirens started too late. By the time the scans picked up the incoming objects, they were already falling, faster than sound, harder than any bomb. The first rod hit. Boom. It crushed a mountain and kept going. The next pierced deep into the ground, tearing through bunkers. The third exploded inside the Capitol dome. Mushroom clouds of dust rose, but there was no radiation. No fire, just destruction. Clean, brutal. Human. Inside the alien control tower, panic spread. Leaders screamed. Screens showed dozens of cities hit. Their defense AI shouted, "Unknown attack." No signal. No warning. No pattern. The High Commander watched his world burn from the sky. He whispered, "They found us." Back in orbit, the Ghost Strike captain gave the next order. Send the message. A simple metal box was dropped from orbit, covered in human writing. No tech, no broadcast, just one sentence carved into it. "We were peaceful. You chose war. Now you'll understand what we do to bullies." The aliens tried to launch pursuit ships, but they had no idea where Ghost Strike was. No heat trail, no radio, wave. Just shadows in the stars. Then came the second wave. Ghost Strike 5, 6, and 7 circled the moons. They dropped rods into weapons factories, signal repeaters, and cloning centers. Everything the enemy used to expand and control was falling apart. On Earth, people watched the alien fleet above them breaking apart, and they saw something they never expected. Retreat. Alien warships turned, broke formation, and fled back into deep space. Some crashed into each other. Some exploded, trying to escape Earth's gravity, and only one made it back to the homeworld, the same one that had first landed in orbit, the only one that would return. On the surface of the alien homeworld, fire still burned, but the skies were silent. The humans had vanished again. The homeworld had survived, but it was no longer safe. Inside the alien high chamber, the last commander spoke quietly. "They struck us without entering our space. They hit our heart without leaving a trace. They don't fear us." One whispered, "They were not what we expected." Another replied, "They were worse." Then, silence. Back on Earth, the Ghost Strike fleet returned to secret orbit. The mission was complete. No medals, no songs, just quiet nods and heavy eyes. They had changed the war forever, because, now, the enemy knew. Earth fights in the dark. Earth strikes without warning. And Earth never forgets. The alien ship drifted into its home port, scarred, smoking, and silent. No other ship from the Great Fleet returned. No victory speech, no trophies, no human prisoners. Just this one ship, and something inside it felt wrong. Dock crews rushed to greet the returning vessel. They expected their brave warriors, but the docking bay was empty. Lights flickered. The doors opened with a hiss, and nothing stepped out. No sound, no life. Just a quiet mist flowing from the ship's airlocks. A high-ranking commander walked inside. "Report," he called. No answer. He stepped deeper into the ship. Bodies lay frozen in place. Not burned. Not shot. Just stiff. As if their minds had stopped mid-thought. One soldier had a look of pure terror on his face. Something had scared him so badly, he never even screamed. The commander backed out slowly. Something had come back with the ship. Something Earth had let return. On purpose. That's when the power in the docking station died. Blackout. Seconds later, a strange signal filled the base. Not a message. Not a threat. Just a repeating sound. Knock, 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 knock. Over and over, the aliens had never heard these words before, but it echoed in their minds like a nightmare. In the high chamber, the ruling council gathered in fear. This wasn't a message. It was a game. A human game. And it was already inside their systems. They checked the returned ship again, this time with drones. In the cargo bay, they found something horrifying. A metal cube, small, plain. Just like the one Earth had found, but this one had a message carved deep into its side. The words translated as, "You brought fear, we brought something worse. This is not a war, it's a warning," and beneath that, one more line. The ghosts are already inside. Suddenly, across the homeworld, machines stopped working. Power grids collapsed. Drones turned on their creators. Mind towers exploded from within. The cube didn't just carry a message. It carried code, human code, written in a language no alien system could understand or stop. It didn't need to attack. It simply rewrote everything. In their final broadcast, the Alien Council spoke. "We thought we would control Earth with fear, but Earth used fear against us. Their ships vanished like shadows. Their weapons left no sound. And now, they are inside our world. They tried to warn others, but their signal was broken. The cube jammed everything. The last thing the galaxy heard from the alien homeworld was a whisper. Don't go to Earth. Far away. On Earth." The Ghost Strike crew watched the stars. The captain stood on a quiet hill. No lights, no fame. He simply looked up and said, "They sent a fleet. They tried to conquer us. Only one ship returned." He paused. "And that was our plan all along. The alien empire fell within days. No war, no army, just fear, confusion, and silence. The humans never sent another ship. They didn't need to, because now the galaxy knew. Earth doesn't forgive. Earth doesn't forget. And if you ever come with war, you may send a fleet, but only one ship will return, and what comes back won't be yours anymore."